Philotenic here with another Artifact 39 replay cast, this time on Clash Teeth, featuring Tren as the Soban versus Agame, playing as random. And here we are, starting in the south side of Clash Teeth. It is Tren in the red Soban carrier. And his opponent starting on the opposite side of the map, if I can find my arrow keys, in the gray coalition carrier, it is Agame.
Just when we were getting comfortable. Salvager online.
So, Clash Teeth, as you can see, is an extremely small map. Both players are very close to each other, only separated by a couple of these hills, which do block line of sight, but everybody's right over next to each other. And then the other thing to be aware about the map is these resourcing locations, where the wrecked bulkheads are all the way, stretched across. So there's a wide amount of territory that you gotta defend relative to how quick you can get across from each other. So this is one area where Tren's carrier faction of choice, the Soban's going to help. These ALMs are going to be able to help shut down any early game aggression. So Tren is going to enjoy that limited protection that the ALMs offer. Tren is going for a greedy opening, moving into a support cruiser first, and then going into some salvagers. Let's check over at Agame, and Agame is doing almost the same thing, just slightly ahead. Two salvagers out already, building some LAVs, and then immediately researching AAV production. Already has his main saturated, and then these light attack vehicles are going to come out and do some scouting.
Awaiting orders.
Tren has just gotten LAV tech, it looks like. Well, no, just building the first LAV, has only gotten over to the resourcing location. And some LAVs are going to come across the hill perhaps and do some scouting from Agame. Tren does have one LAV to deal with it. Agame's LAV is going to retreat. Tren is going to take his base runner over and get this easy artifact. And on this side, Agame has already retired his base runner, so nothing to worry about there. Agame is first to produce one armored assault, and then both players are going for salvagers over there on the left. Want to saturate the second resourcing location. Tren able to get the base runner in, and that's going to come back to this middle location, but it's probably going to die, because Tren currently doesn't have anything to deal with the
carrier here.
AAV from Agame, but Tren is building an AAV, two AAVs of his own. Agame not building anything, instead researching fast fighter and gunship fabrication. Wants to move straight into fighters and gunships, and right now Tren is not researching fighters or missile batteries or support cruiser anti-air, so this may be a window of opportunity that Agame can attack Tren with this timing attack perhaps.
Alert, base runner lost. LAV taking effective fire.
Tren doing some scouting and harassing with the LAV, but Agame able to clean that up with the AAV pretty easily. And now Tren's going to move out with 3 AAVs of his own cross into Agame's resourcing location, but Agame does have 3 AAVs of his own, but they are all spread out. And then that Tren with the high ground advantage right here in the middle, doing superior damage right now, but Agame 2 AAVs, the base runner, 2 base runners. Agame wants to get some artifacts or use those for anti-air. Can't see what Agame's building.
Railgun ready for assembly. Awaiting orders.
Tren going for heavy armor level 2. Both players are going to attack each other's resourcing locations. These base runners are perhaps here to put down turrets.
logistics modules. Armor is on.
AAVs are coming in and trying to knock down the support cruiser. We do have the turret out.
Base runner approaching AO.
That turret does a lot of damage, but I don't think it's being able to deal with 2 AAVs. There goes the turret. On the other side of the map, we do have Tren suffering the same sort of situation. Tren does have railguns out, but in come the interceptors. No, the interceptors are going to deal with these AAVs. So we're going to have to keep track of two combat at the same time. Oh, Agame definitely got the better. That's able to destroy the support cruiser. It looks like, yes. And then going to pull back while losing a couple of these from the railguns. Meanwhile, Tren has not been able to do as much damage, and very slowly these strike fighters are going to be able to clean up the AAVs.
Enemy contact on the board.
So Agame definitely ahead in the economy right now.
Enemy contact on sensors.
Will this
On our way.
be able to kill
Enemy
anything?
signature identified.
Not entirely sure. Haven't been keeping track of the salvager count, but if it did, it wasn't very much. So
Copy. Railgun.
Armored unit
Agame
lost.
definitely getting the better of the exchange right now. Tren has a bunch of railguns, but Agame with a bunch of
Standing by.
strike fighters moving into missile batteries, producing the first missile battery. Out comes the support cruiser with about 600
We're clear to proceed.
CUs that were spent unnecessarily.
Light attack vehicle.
At least unnecessarily, if Tren was able to keep it alive, I should say. Agame is going to pick up 2 artifacts, and in come the strike fighters.
Copy.
That missile
Go ahead.
battery is just out, so it'll be interesting to see where the strike fighters go. But they are just going to swing around right into the missile batteries, it looks like.
Hostile unit marked.
Armor is en route.
They're going
Enemy
to
strike
attack
fighter
that
airborne.
ALM.
A sensor post is taking hostile fire.
If you can kill it, that is 250 CUs.
On our way.
A sensor post has been lost.
Able to be annoying right now, but Tren does have the missile batteries out on the map.
Underway.
Hostile base runner sighted.
Looks like all the action is over on this side of the map right now. Agame with that fleet flying around trying to find something. The missile batteries are going to try and keep the base runners from getting
Contact
in.
enemy armor. Light attack vehicle
In
under fire.
come
Enemy
the
forces have acquired an artifact. Move order confirmed.
strike fighters, and they're going to try and pick off an undefended support cruiser.
Coordinates
An
confirmed.
LAV has been lost.
Meanwhile, those missile batteries are on the wrong side of the
Contact.
map.
Enemy strike fighter airborne.
Enemy forces have acquired an artifact.
So it looks like the strike fighters have run out of missiles. So now it is the missile batteries of Tren versus the armored assaults of Agame, and Tren's Soban railguns are out of
Construction
position right
units
now.
depleted. Underway.
What is Agame researching?
Enemy sighted.
Assault cruiser fabrication,
Go ahead,
perhaps
set.
going to go straight into some artillery cruisers.
Roger. Awaiting
And
orders.
then Tren currently not researching anything, still hasn't picked up the railgun acceleration upgrade. Looks like Tren has picked up all the heavy armor upgrades, versus Agame still hasn't, going for assault. Will have assault packs, which gives the LEVs the boosts ability.
Enemy armor
And now
inbound.
Tren is going to stream across the middle of the map and try to do some damage to Agame's economy.
All out.
Immediately runs into some armored assaults and does have the cover of the missile batteries, but needs to make sure that he doesn't run ahead of those missile batteries.
Salvager construction complete.
Railgun
Make sure
engaging
nothing
enemy
else is
units.
happening on the map. Agame going for a third. Agame is going to be
Enemy
annoying with
signature
that
identified.
AAV over there. The railguns are going to come and take care of the Agame's AAV, and then Agame's AAV and missile batteries with the mortar ability going to take care of the LAVs, but this turret post is going to do a lot of damage to the railguns if they're not Tren's not careful. The railguns are quite lightly armored.
Armored vehicle taking effective fire.
And then Agame has brought his carrier up.
On our way.
The fleet's going to take care of the turrets, and those turrets are everywhere.
Railgun has been lost.
And then the rails are going to come and try and clean up the support
Quarter launch.
cruisers on this side. A-Game is back with the interceptors and going to take out Tren's economy. We're going to bring some of those back to deal with these railguns and the AAVs. Support cruiser saved once again. Carriers coming and doing lots of damage.
Railgun under fire.
And the Tren's attack is going to be driven out by a combination of turrets, carriers, and oh, it's an assault cruiser. Don't see those very often, at least before the recent patch.
Coordinates confirmed.
Enemy contact on the board.
So that is twice by my count that no, the support cruiser has stayed alive just barely,
Hostile contact marked.
but just a little bit more, and then that support cruiser is going to be gone. Maybe Tren's going to want to put down a AA turret with the base runner. No, instead it's going to go and try and get an artifact.
Destination set. Artifact
In come the strike fighters again, and they're going to clean up these railguns over here on the right hand side.
A railgun has been lost.
And that leaves A-Game in control of the map right now, and also with the best economy, operating off of 3 resourcing locations versus Tren's current 2. Tren's getting prepared to move over to a 3rd, but that support cruiser does get blown up by the strike fighters. And now A-Game is looking to move in with this assault cruiser under the air cover. 2 assault cruisers now.
Coordinates confirmed.
Assault cruisers and strike fighters. And then Tren doesn't have any missile batteries out. Only producing 1 missile battery right now. So that is going to be a problem. Does get to pick up the artifacts. That's going to be a denial. Strike fighters are over here on the right side. Assault cruisers in the middle, and then skimmer labs coming out on the right. Here's an assault cruiser. That's going to try and take out yet another of Tren's support cruisers. These railguns should be able to poke that back, except for this 1 missile battery is not going to be enough. Tren looks to be in trouble, going to be attacked on all flanks. I'll try and keep all the action in camera. Assault cruisers, 1 assault cruiser on the right, 1 assault cruiser in the middle, 1 assault cruiser on the left, and then strike fighters flying around in the middle while A-Game decides what to do with them. A-Game going for more power. Tren is currently not researching anything right now, and a large part because a lot of his economy has been going into keeping it up, from replacing these support cruisers. Only 1 missile battery, 4 strike fighters. A-Game with complete map control, going to take in 2 artifacts. Maybe just decides to win this on artifacts instead of going for the kill. We will have to see. 1 artifact drop in, 3 out of 5 needed to win the game, and another one on the way. Tren is not going to be able to stop that, not with the assault cruiser here, and I think assault cruisers can take care of this number of LAVs, but to be honest, I'm not entirely sure. Played with them much myself, so we'll find out together. Assuming Tren brings that in, and then just the assault cruisers keeping watch over here. So all the action's going to be on this side, if anything. There's that AAV over on the right hand side, just keeping an eye on whether this resourcing location is going to be used. Tren does not decide to get aggressive. So 1 more artifact, and A-Game is going to win, but it looks like A-Game is coming out, has an artillery cruiser to back up all of the assault cruisers. That's a probe that gets destroyed, and over here on the left, in comes the carrier. The assault cruiser is pushing in, going to try and destroy the support cruiser. It is barely alive. These rails should be able to, LAVs, I'm sorry, should be able to take care of the assault cruiser along with the rail guns. There goes the 3rd assault cruiser, some artillery coming out from A-Game in the middle. And then Tren is going to try and move out on the right hand side with the railguns and LAVs.
Marked.
On our way.
Again, pulling back. Carrier coming out, researching power level 4. One more until the carrier can launch the cruise missile. These railguns are in a decent position to deal with all the turret posts and the assault cruisers.
Hostile contact on the board.
There is the winning artifact. Tren has a decent force to deal with it, but the only problem is this missile battery out of position, so Agame could do a number to the railguns with the strike fighters, but elected not to do that right now. Tren has next to no economy, no income what to speak of, no 600, 730 CUs, 400, 540 RUs. We do have engagements down the middle here, so let's swing the camera so we can sort of see everything. Over here, Tren Agame coming in with the 2 assault cruisers perhaps, and those assault cruisers are going to go down to the railguns, but over here is where the real battle is. LAVs coming in, mortar misses, artillery cruisers shooting, these railguns are going to die. Or maybe Agame should take out the missile battery first. 2 assault cruisers destroyed in the back. But Agame's still with the upper hand in almost every way. Tren still hasn't gotten his 3rd resourcing location up, and Agame's been operating off of his 3rd resourcing location for quite some time. Tren's gonna move out with the armored assault vehicles here in the middle, but they're gonna run into a bunch of artillery fire. Might be able to take out the artillery cruiser. No, that artillery cruiser is going to harass some armed logistic modules. Tren over here with the railguns. These railguns have a nice view of the almost have a nice view. I think everything's a little bit out of range for Tren, but moving out with the railguns, trying to take care of this base runner. Needs to dodge the artillery, and in comes the air. Base runner almost dead, but still alive. It's hard to see how Tren can come back from this one. Can't sneak in a base runner with an artifact to win the game, and then Agame just has overwhelming force over here and is going to be able to push in against all of Tren's rails. Tren needs to bring these rails over here in the back, over here to the extraction zone, because if one of these 2 base runners gets the artifact in the extraction zone, it's game over. Artillery cruisers still harassing, actually hitting the Soban carrier over there. These railguns do need to move over to the right-hand side if Tren's going to have any chance whatsoever of repelling this attack, but I don't see it happening either way. Agame is resurging power level 5, 26 seconds until the cruise missile gets here. The air is going to come out. The artillery is pounding, or at least, yeah, it's hitting some stuff. Good mortar by Tren. Unfortunately, doesn't quite kill the LAVs thanks to... Well, they actually don't have armor upgrades? Yeah, no. Not sure why those LAVs didn't die. Perhaps the skimmers, they got one-shotted by mortars. Anyway, that artillery is going to keep Tren's forces out, and then one of these 2 base runners is going to come in, and just to add insult to injury, in comes the nuke. And that's Agame taking the match. Well played by both players. If you enjoyed this replay cast, hit that like button, subscribe, or leave a message in the comments. Feel authentic, signing out.